Juliet said in her definition, we honor our protectors today. But what does it mean to serve? We always talk about serving others. Today, we honor those who died while serving our country in the armed forces. How many of us know someone who has served? Someone who was injured while serving? Do you know someone who passed and made that sacrifice for our country and for you? I know I've mentioned a few times, working previously in the defense industry, I was fortunate to meet many a soldier, and a few became close friends. In fact, the one who I met for the very first time and told me, hey, you should be in the kitchen and vacuuming, ended up becoming the big brother I never wanted, but in the end I did, because he made the ultimate sacrifice. He went one last time overseas, and he was wounded in action, came back home, and then passed from his wounds. And he made that ultimate sacrifice, and he had also a wonderful faith. We talk about Jesus making the ultimate sacrifice for each of us when we talk about Easter and the resurrection. So how do we compare someone fighting for their country and that sacrifice? And then we talk about Jesus' sacrifice. How does that work? How does that work in our mind? And they are definitely two different types of sacrifice. And I was looking for an answer to this question, so I turned to our theology, and I knew pretty much where to look. But then I found two passages. They made sense to me, and they actually felt like they were written in pretty plain language. It helped me to understand what makes someone want to join the armed forces and quite possibly sacrifice their life. So both of these passages are from Swedenborg's book, Heaven and Hell. And this is what he says, and it's about our thought and our intentions. And he says, if the thought and the intent are good, then the deeds and the works are good. But if the thought and intent are evil, then the deeds and works are evil. Even though they may look alike in the outward form. 1,000 people can behave like this. They can do the same thing, and you can hardly tell the difference. Yet each deed in its own right is unique because it comes from a different intent. People behave honestly and fairly toward their colleagues in a similar outward form when they are acting from a love of what is honest and fair. Some of them do it because of the truth of faith or obedience because it is in the Word. Some of them do it for the sake of the goodness of faith because they are moved by religious feeling. Some of them do it out of the good of thoughtfulness toward their neighbor because one's neighbor's welfare is to be valued. Some of them do it out of the goodness of love for the Lord because what is good should be done for its own sake. They love these qualities because they come from the Lord, and and because that divine nature emanates from the Lord within them. The deeds or works of these people are inwardly good, so they are outwardly good as well. The deeds or works of these people, as already noted, the nature of deeds and works is determined by the nature of the thought and intent from which they stem. We may gather from this what is meant by works and deeds in the Word. We should realize as well that as we present our whole person in our works and deeds, that our volition and thought, or the love and faith of our inner constitutes, are not complete until they are in the deeds and works. Most of that was pretty plain. If our intent and our thoughts are good, then our deeds will be the same. We have to ask ourselves, where are these intentions from? Are they from love? And what love? Love of helping our neighbor? Love of helping ourselves? Or loving good and truth? And good and truth is different for all of us. But loving the Lord and learning that kind of love and goodness is where this love should come from. I look at all the military men and women who make a conscious decision to join. There are just too many to ask as to what their intentions were when they decided to join the military. But for those who have a deep love for our country to protect, we can be assured that their love comes from a place of neighborly love. One of the two greatest commandments. Wanting to protect, wanting to keep others safe. On this Memorial Day weekend and every day following, I pray that those who made that sacrifice and their family know that they are appreciated and will not be forgotten. Amen.